This is what happens when the creature you trust most suddenly turns on you. Jessica Radcliffe was no thrill seeker. She was a marine biologist, a perfectionist, someone who believed that understanding and routine could tame even the most powerful predator. And for years, it seemed like she was right. Every day, she stepped into a tank with a 12,000-pound killer whale named Mallow. They danced, performed, trusted each other. Children laughed, cameras flashed, and behind the glass, no one questioned it. Until one day, in front of a sold-out crowd, everything changed. No warning, no misstep, just a sudden snap, a shift in the water, and then a silence so loud it swallowed the stadium whole. Why did Mallow, the orca she trained and loved, suddenly attack? Was it instinct, revenge, or something even darker no one dared to say out loud? This is the horrifying final story of Jessica Radcliffe, and it will change how you see animal entertainment forever. She trusted him more than that. She loved him, not just as a performer, not as a wild animal, but as a partner, as family. He was the centerpiece of the park, the headliner, the main event, the orca that brought in thousands of guests each week. He performed flawlessly for years, until one day, in front of a full crowd of families, children, and cameras, that trust was shattered. In seconds, what should have been a joyful performance turned into a nightmare. Screams replaced cheers, water turned red, and a young woman full of life was gone. This is the story of Jessica Radcliffe. It isn't just about her death. It's about the warnings we ignored, the choices we made, and the truth we tried to hide. Jessica Radcliffe was raised just outside of Santa Cruz, California, with the Pacific Ocean practically in her backyard. Her father, a respected marine biologist, took her on boat trips, taught her how to read the tides, and showed her pods of dolphins dancing in the surf. From the time she could walk, she was mesmerized by the sea. As a child, she attended a marine park show and watched an orca leap from the water. That moment changed her life. She knew then she didn't want to just watch these animals. She wanted to be with them, train them, understand them. She enrolled in a marine biology program in college and got an internship at Ocean Haven Marine Park, a rising SeaWorld-style attraction just south of Monterey. She started by cutting fish, scrubbing tanks, and observing feeding schedules. But it was clear she had something special. The animals responded to her, especially one. Mallow was Ocean Haven's star orca, 22 feet long, 12,000 pounds, black and white, with a massive dorsal fin that towered like a sail. He had been captured young and trained for years. He knew how to wave, splash, spin, and breach on cue, but he was also temperamental. Other trainers said he was unpredictable, that some days he would flat out ignore commands or slap his tail against the tank when agitated. But with Jessica, he was different. She was young, only 21, but she understood him. She knew his body language, his mood changes, and even his feeding preferences. While others struggled to handle him, Jessica seemed to calm him. Within a year, she was promoted to lead orca trainer. She called Mallow her big boy. She believed in their bond. She believed that love and routine had tamed him. But orcas are not pets. They are predators. And that bond, as deep as it was still human-made. Over time, cracks began to show. Mallow became more aggressive during feeding sessions. He once lunged at another trainer, forcing them to leap back. He ignored whistle cues and slammed into the tank walls hard enough to echo through the stadium. One junior trainer filed an internal incident report. Another requested that Mallow be pulled from the live water work, but management dismissed the concerns. It was the busy season. Mallow was the park's biggest draw. And Jessica, she wasn't blind to it. She noted some of his odd behavior in her log, but she believed he would never hurt her. She told a coworker the week before the tragedy, "He's just moody lately, but we're okay. He knows me." But wild instincts don't vanish. They wait and sometimes they snap. July 6, 2011. A sunny afternoon in California. Ocean Haven was packed. The stadium was filled with over 2,000 guests, families, school groups, tourists. People clutched ice cream cones, cameras, and stuffed Orca toys. The music played loudly as the announcer introduced Jessica and Mallow. She stepped onto the platform smiling. The crowd roared. Mallow surfaced beside her. The show went smoothly at first. Mallow did every trick on cue. He leaped, he splashed, he spun. And then came the finale, the synchronized swim. Jessica dove into the water, waving at the audience as Mallow circled her. It was a crowd favorite, a routine they'd done dozens of times. But not today. Mallow stopped circling. In a flash, he lunged. His jaws clamped down on Jessica's torso. She didn't even scream. He yanked her under the surface with terrifying force. Gasps erupted from the stands. Parents pulled their children back. Screams echoed. Mallow thrashed violently, dragging her deeper. The water turned murky with blood. Trainers rushed to intervene. They tossed fish, ropes, and buoys. One grabbed a pole and shouted commands. Nothing worked. Jessica was underwater for over a minute. When he finally released her, she floated motionless. Divers pulled her out. Her wetsuit was torn. She had massive internal injuries, crushed ribs, and had drowned. She was pronounced dead on the pool deck. The park was evacuated in minutes. Children were crying. People screamed. Others stood frozen, horrified. Ocean Haven released a bland statement, a tragic accident. But those inside the park knew better. There had been warnings, and they had been ignored. Jessica's family was devastated. Her parents held a private memorial along the coast where she once played as a child. Her ashes were scattered into the Pacific. Her death sparked a national outcry. News crews camped outside the park. Animal rights groups protested. Former trainers came forward sharing stories of abuse, mistreatment, and silenced concerns. Ocean Haven shut down within 6 months. The lawsuits didn't stop. Mallow was relocated to a semi-wild marine sanctuary in the Pacific Northwest. He lived the rest of his life without trainers, shows, or screaming crowds. But the damage had been done. Jessica believed love could bridge the gap between human and beast. That trust was enough. But it wasn't, because the truth is, wild animals are not actors. They are not entertainers. They are not ours. Jessica Radcliffe was talented, brave, and passionate. She gave her heart to the ocean. But the ocean doesn't return guarantees. What happened to her wasn't just a freak accident. It was the result of ignoring instincts, silencing warnings, and assuming nature can be controlled. This isn't just a story of a trainer and an orca. It's a warning. When we cage the wild for entertainment, eventually the wild reminds us who it really is. Rest in peace, Jessica. Your story will never be forgotten.